I guess I should tell you how everything fell apart, even though, honestly, it's totally not my fault. I'm Rebecca, 29, and I'm literally the best thing that ever happened to my soon-to-be ex-husband. Like the absolute best. But some people just don't know how to appreciate a good thing when they have it, you know? It all started 2 years ago at Burton and Shaw Marketing when this total sweetheart walked into our department. Braden, 31, looking like a lost puppy with his pressed khakis and actually ironed dress shirts. The kind of guy who probably sorted his socks by color and still said, "Excuse me," when sneezing. A rare breed. And I'll admit it, at first I thought he was cute and that nerdy. I was picked last in gym classes way. He was kind, soft-spoken, and absolutely obsessed with making me happy. Like full-on, worship the ground I walk on kind of devoted. Every morning my coffee was already on my desk, perfect ratio of sugar to cream. Every bad day, he magically showed up with takeout from my favorite Thai place. Every little inconvenience I faced, he was ready to fix it before I even had to ask. It was adorable at first. So naturally, when he finally mustered the courage to ask me out, I figured, why not? He was sweet, stable, and let's be real, guys like him don't just up and leave. So I gave it a shot, and before I knew it, we were engaged. And that's when the real problems started. See, Braden was a yes dear type of husband. The kind that let me pick the furniture, the house, the wedding theme, even the car we bought. He had opinions sort off, but they never really mattered because, in the end, he'd always say, "Whatever makes you happy, babe." And honestly, that's the dream, right? A man who listens, supports, and never argues? Wrong. Turns out having a husband who never pushes back, never challenges you, and just exists to serve, it gets boring. Really fast. And maybe it's bad, but I started testing him. Like little things. "Braden, I don't think you should go to poker night with your friends. Just stay home with me." And boom. He'd cancel without hesitation. "Braden, I don't like how that girl at work laughs at your jokes. Maybe stop talking to her?" He'd ghost her the next day. It was almost too easy, like playing a game on the lowest difficulty setting. So I pushed further. I started controlling everything: what he wore, what he ate, how he spent his free time, and he just took it. Every single time. And then, one night, it hit me: if I could control all that, why not the ultimate test? "Braden," I said casually over dinner, "I think we should make intimacy a reward system. You know, you do what I say, you get rewarded. If you don't, well," I shrugged. And that was that. He laughed at first like he thought I was joking, but when I didn't crack a smile, his face went blank. "You're serious?" he asked. "Completely," I replied, sipping my wine. "It's just an incentive, babe. If you're good to me, you get good things in return." I expected him to just nod, agree, and move on, like he always did. But instead, he set his fork down, wiped his mouth, and said, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." And I swear my jaw hit the table. He had never not once spoken to me like that before. My first instinct was to fight back, to tell him he was being ungrateful, that it was just a way to make our marriage work better. But he just shook his head, stood up, and left the table. No fight, no yelling, just walked away. And suddenly, the guy who used to revolve his entire existence around me was sleeping on the couch, coming home later, going to the gym instead of spending time with me. He stopped asking if I needed anything, stopped texting me all day, and worst of all, he stopped looking at me the way he used to, like I was his entire world. And I should have been scared, but I was too stubborn to admit I'd pushed too far. I told myself he'd snap out of it, that he'd realize he couldn't function without me. But then, he did something I never expected. He started acting like a man. One night I came home late from a girls' night out, expecting to see him asleep on the couch, like always. But instead, he was packing a bag. I laughed, assuming it was some dramatic stunt, but he just zipped it up, looked me dead in the eye, and said, "I'm done, Rebecca." And that's when it hit me. He wasn't bluffing. "You're leaving? Over what? A dumb argument?" I scoffed. But he just shook his head. "Number? I'm leaving because I finally realized I deserve better than being treated like some lapdog you can control." And just like that, he walked out the door. No tears, no begging, just gone. And now, a month later, I'm sitting in the apartment we picked together, alone, staring at a text that reads, "Just letting you know I'll be finalizing the divorce next week. Hope you find whatever it is you're looking for." And for the first time in my life, I don't feel in control. I feel lost. Because I thought I had all the power in this marriage. Turns out, the real power was High's when he decided to walk away. If you want more real-life stories like this, make sure to subscribe. We bring you daily drama, shocking twists, and lessons you won't forget. Hit that subscribe button now.